Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new program called the JETS-ALORIAN podcast. I hope everyone's doing well. My name is SPORTS Jedi Kev, and I am a Jet fan. So let's get right into it. The new league year is in, and the Jets are making a lot of moves. A lot of moves. We'll break them down one at a time here. Let's get this going. And, of course, hit that like and subscribe. And we'll go with it. The New York Jets made a lot of moves in this offseason. The new year, the new NFL season, league calendar year, physical year starts on Thursday. But the tampering period is allowed. You're allowed to sign players. Of course, the Jets signed their own players. Braxton Berrios has returned to the Jets. They're making a lot of good moves here. They're improving the ball club. They're going to put a much stronger competitive team on the field. We have a lot of different moves for the New York Jets. They sign. Let's see. Here's the first one. They sign a hole here. Joe Douglas filled the gap at guard. Tomlin, right at the guard position from the 49ers, signed with the Jets. Tight end Uzmov, cornerback Reed, safety Whitehead, all signed with the New York Jets. The Jets. Smart move there, but there's still a lot of work to be done here. They still have the draft coming up in about another month, which direction the Jets will go. Remember, they finished with a terrible record. They only had 4 wins last season. It was the first year of a rookie head coach, a rookie quarterback. They show some sign of flashes. They show some competitiveness on the field. We'll see. We'll see what the Jets do here. Marcus May doesn't look like he might return, although the Jets did not close the door on returning Marcus May back into the fold. And also, you'll see where the Jets are trying to improve on the offensive line with this free agency. We also see that as of right now, as of this moment, their starting guard lineup, the O-line is Mekhi Becton, Font, McGovern, Vera Tucker, and Tomlinson, just sign aboard. Mekhi Becton is an X factor, in my opinion. Mekhi Becton has to be in shape. He has to have a condition. His nutrition has to be in order. He's a big guy. That knee injury took him out. And the recovery, because he's heavy. He's got to learn, how to slim down, get a nutritionist, get in order. Easier said than done. I know that. I know when you struggle with weight, fluctuating weight and all, it's tough to stay in shape and keep it off there. But if he wants to make generational type of money, he's gonna have to put that effort in and stay on the field. So we'll see if Mekhi Becton will come into shape there. But all in all, where would the Jets go here? There's a lot of people that would like to get Allen Robinson, wide receiver. I think it'll be a little too much money. Personally, I think this upcoming draft class is wide receiver heavy. Also, defensive linemen, all offensive linemen. My thoughts are with the Jets. Let's stay with the free agency first before we go into the draft a little bit. The free agency with the moves around the league. There's also talks that the Jets might be able to release McGovern to save about $9 million, releasing him to try to. We also saw that C.J. Treader from the Browns was released. That might be an upgrade or an option if the Jets see that they could upgrade and bring another center in. Although I think keep covering McGovern. If you could restructure somehow, some way his deal, if you want to save some money there, because you want to keep that continuity for the young quarterback. Especially the exchange between quarterback and center. You don't want, another center that he's not comfortable with. You don't want to upset the apple cart. Personally, I think McGovern should stay. Connor McGovern played very well. One thing you need is stability on your O-line. Look at the Giants. They've been waiting. That offensive line has always been an issue, Achilles heel. And around the league, the Jets' offensive line was pretty good last year. We saw, for the running game, played very well for the Jets. That they run block. Let's see if they could just grow. Like I said, this draft is going to be full of O-linemen, defensive linemen. Who the coach is, Saleh, and he comes from that 49er mentality of that defense. They build some good defensive linebackers, linemen, Bosa and company. We'll see how their eye is. Coming into the season, we knew the Jets had a lot of needs, and their needs were defensive lineman, offensive lineman, safety, and wide receiver. It looked like they already got some wide. They've got some more linemen. They signed some safeties. They are kicking the tires on wide receiver. Although I don't know. As long as Jarvis Lowry is out there, you got Allen Robinson, you got DJ Shark, you got a lot of different wide receivers out there. The Beckham, even though he's been injured, I think he's going back to Los Angeles. But there's wide receiver that can be had on the free agent market. Also, this free agent class, the draft class has some good wide receivers up and down. It'll be interesting to see. I think the Jets are not done yet, although I think the big significant moves have been made. There's also Chandler Jones out there from the Cardinals that they could sign. I don't see Von Miller. Let me put the names the names out there. Sexy names: Chandler Jones, Odell Beckham, Allen Robinson, and Randy Gregory already went with the Dallas Cowboys. He re-signed. Marcus Williams already signed with the Saints. So Tyrann Mathieu, I think then that ship sailed. I don't think they going to get Tyrann Mathieu. I think he's going to the Raiders personally. I believe that. And then of course the Jets made some sign. They signed DJ Reed and Jordan Whitehead from the defending champions. DJ Reed, of course, from the Seattle Seahawks. And what the money that they would have spent on Marcus Williams getting and averaging $14 million. That's what he got for the Saints. They ended up getting two players for annually around $18 million for both of them, for DJ Reed and Jordan Whitehead. There is still a possibility of Marcus May returning back to the team. I think they want to. He's been a Jet for a long tenured Jet. Hopefully he will return on a reasonable deal. They bring him in here, and their secondary starting the ship look nice. They had some guys play at the end of the year, came aboard, came on strong from last year's team. We'll see where the Jets go. All we want is a competitive team on the field. We know we're not going to win a Super Bowl next year, but although you never limit your team, you never limit your thoughts. I'm not saying they will, guys. Don't burn me here. I'm just saying, I just want a competitive team. You got a second year quarterback. Of course, everyone wants to look towards Cincinnati Bengals model, with Joe Burrow. They surrounded him with a lot of good talent, though. They had a lot of good talent that just play together, although they give up a lot of sacks. We saw that in the Super Bowl, but, Burrow is one of those special type of players. We're hoping Zach Wilson could be that type of player, the special type of quarterback. But the AFC East, I think Buffalo is the darling of the league. But they got the Buffalo. Then you have the New England Patriots right second, and then right there is anybody's picking, depending how this draft class comes in. Smart free agency and scouting, anyone could be third, or even the gap from third to second, or let's say from fourth to second. The class is not that far away. The gap, although you give the higher advantage to the greatest head coach in NFL history. But Mac Jones, can he do this? Remember, there's gonna be the offensive coordinator took the Raiders job. Now he's no longer there, and now they got to bring a new offensive system for Mac Jones. Can they keep it simple? Can he has to learn all lingo and verbiage and all, and then the talent around him. So can the Jets compete next year? Yeah, they could compete. Anyone can compete. You see it, especially in the NFL. One year you could be a 4-win team, and the next year you'd be a 9-win team. Just like that. I'm not saying they're going to be, like I said, I'm not trying to put any crazy realistic numbers on the Jets. I still think they're still raw. They're still young. But you also got C.J. Mosley back, mounting the center, the middle linebacker position. Quentin Williams. You have a lot of good players on this team for the New York Jets. But we shall see with it. Also, let's see. I'm looking around. The tight end. I love the tight end they got Darnold some weapons. They bought some tight ends in here. Of course, the tight end Uzma from the Cincinnati Bengals. He's a big target for him. Also could block. There were talks about O.J. Howard, but O.J. Howard, I don't think it was the Jets type of cup of coffee. And also, Evan Ingram went to Jacksonville. I don't think the Jets had any look or thoughts at him. I think they were looking for kind of that pass. Like they're looking like a Kittle type of tight end, Gronk type who could block and run out free, get some passes over the middle in the slot. So they're trying to model that. You see LaFleur wants to try that, in what he did in the San Francisco 49ers offense. We shall see there. But now we'll talk about the draft. I'm not going to stay. It's just a short video just to make sure, just to get my feel. Once I get guests, we'll elaborate more later on more of the Jets up and down with the rosters. And my opinion, when the Jets, of course, we all know the 2022 draft is coming up. The Jets will pick 4th, 10th, 35th, 38th, and 69th, 108th, 114th, 144th, and 159th overall. Those are the Jets picks. They got that 10th from Seattle, an extra pick from the Carolina Panthers, the 38th pick for the Sam Darnold deal. And, of course, my opinion is this draft, this mock draft, remember, this is my opinion, my thoughts. I think if the Jets are number 4, I don't think Aiden Hutchinson is going to be there. I think the Detroit Lions are going to pick him up. I don't think they'll go another offensive lineman. I think they go with Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon. 6'5", 258 pounds, impressive pass rusher, linebacker. I think they go with Thibodeau at that pick at number 4. I don't unless if some miracle Hutchinson is there, then you go get Hutchinson. But I don't see Hutchinson surviving 3 picks. Because I would love that personally. But man, I will be giddy and talk about giddy. He's there at the number 4, and definitely that'll be Jets Nation. I think Jacksonville is going to take the old lineman Ikem Imuku from North Carolina State. I think Hutchinson goes to Detroit, and I think the Evan Neal from Alabama goes to the Texans, and that leaves us. There's some mock drafts are saying that Charlie Cross, from Mississippi State. Personally, I don't think so. I think the way they just did on this free agency class right now, they got what they wanted. I think can they get another offensive lineman later in the 2nd, 3rd round? Yes, I could see that. Or add for depth, or roster cuts. I could see them adding more depth on the old line. But when you have a chance to get a edge, and Kayvon Thibodeau's there, and sorry, I hate to say that, transparent. I am a Giant and a Jet fan as well. I love the Jets and also root for the Giants. But I think we're gonna get Thibodeau right before the Giants. I know the Giants wanted they built themselves on some pass rushing, some mean pass rushing and block and going after the quarterback. But I think the Jets somehow get ahead of you. And I think the Giants personally will break that down. Chef Dan on the network will break down the Giants. But I think Charlie Cross will be for the Giants there at number 5. But then remember the Giants have picked number 7 and number 5, so they have a chance to bolt their roster as well. But then we come to the 10th pick. The 10th pick to me is going to be really interesting. It all depends who's out there. Who if teams traded back or traded up, if they make some moves, if who's desperate, who really wants a certain player in their draft board. But if everything were to go chalk, and I think the Jets for number 10 pick, personally, my opinion, if he's there, you go for David Ojabo, the edge from Michigan, the junior, 6'5", 255 pounds, if he's still around there. If David Ojabo is gone and he's not available, you go for the next available player. Always you go for best available player. I think wide receiver Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. He's fast, 6'5", 183 pounds. or you get Sam Darnold. Look at me, Zach Wilson. Excuse me, Zach Wilson. You get Zach Wilson. I saw USC, and I just thought of Darnold, but Zach Wilson from BYU. You get him. You get him that big receiver, Drake London, from the University of Southern California. They listed him at 6'4", but in the combines he was 6'5", 219 pounds. A big target. I mean, a big number one target. If you don't get Allen Robinson in the draft class, if you want to save some money, and you don't want to get too much invested, now's the time, because before you have to pay your quarterback, you want to surround them with good talent. That's what the motto has been, and we've seen around the league. So I think you get him that 6'5", big target in Drake London if he's available. That's all this if this is all hypothetical. If it's available, if everything pans out perfect for the Jets in that first round there, and if not in the second round, let's say if they go with David Ajabu, there's going to be some good wide receivers also later in the second round. You got George Pickens from Georgia, or if they do get, let's say they go with the offense and Garrett Wilson or Drake London, then you could go for another edge from San Diego State, Cam Thomas, or if they don't want to go defense and they still want to give another blanket for Zach Wilson. You also got Trey McBride, a tight end from Colorado State, who could be a safety blanket. But I personally think that might be a little bit of a reach if you go second round, especially 38th pick for tight end, when he's gonna be late second round, early third. Maybe that might be a reach. I'm gonna be totally transparent on that. But if you are building a roster and you have players of your need and liking that's gonna fit your roster, that has all the skill set that the Jets require and need to implement their system and play efficiently, then you might have to reach just a couple. Or you want to trade back and pick up an extra fifth round pick and take a chance and know that Trey McBride will still be there. You could do that. You could, wheeling, dealing, move back some and get some more picks. You always want to have a plethora of talent and picks. If you want to, especially fifth rounds, they're usually not that much guaranteed contract. See if they try to make it into the roster. Special teams, you want to bring that there. We'll see with the Jets if they do that kind of move, that kind of aggressiveness with their draft. All in all, Joe Douglas, right now, if what we've seen from his movement, his tenure this season, so far I could say, who knows, because this could blow up in the, we're Jet fans. We hope for the best, but expect the worst. It could be but on paper, from all the free agent signings, the abilities of all the draft picks in the early stages of the first 3 rounds, you're going to get some good players that's going to help this team, this young team with a young coach, young quarterback, to develop and grow into something special. Maybe not this year, but maybe in a year later, a year from now, third year of Zach Wilson. He's already implemented. You keep everything the same offensive coordinator, knock on wood, same, defensive scheme, same, everything is the familiarity. He knows the verbiage of the offense. Although we're hoping that we could see that maybe a quarter into season number 2, he starts getting comfortable and start flying. Like maybe after the first 4 or 5 games, maybe you'll see Wilson just take off. I think he'll struggle the first 2 games, maybe, or not there yet. And then it's just the game is gonna totally slow down. This is just me wishful thinking, but normally when you know a quarterback has the it factor, usually around that time or mostly around that time, second year, a quarter of the season in, a switch just flips and they take off. They just start playing a different level, and you see it right there. Not everyone's gonna be Mahomes, sat a year and then right off the bat he just went flying. But it's similar to what a Josh Allen, what other quarterbacks around the league. They just have that. They need that time. They need to get in the trenches and know the verbiage and trust their. And of course, they have a good offensive line. That's why they signed a real good running back. Let me, if I may find a running back, they signed a veteran running back from the 49ers to help them with the running attack, blocking as well. So whenever they go into play action or they blitz, they have a running back who's a veteran, who knows how to block, who knows how to pick up the mic, allow Wilson that extra time. So that was another good pickup by the Jets front office, to see if they were able to just surround Wilson with some talent, some time, buy him some time. We've seen that when he has time, he has an arm. The kid has an arm. He although the short passes were a little bit something that made you scratch your head, but he could throw that ball down the field. You bring some speedsters on with him, and give him some time. Hopefully he cleans that up. The short underneath route. You started to saw a good connection with him and Berrios closing out the season. You saw the running game. Michael Carter Williams and company ran the ball really well. You need that combination. You need that combination of running and passing to open up the passing. Although now this NFL, you want the passing to help the run, but all in all, they if you could do them well both and have that wrinkle in there, and play some good defense that the Jets are trying to build here, then we got something. We're building something positive, something looking forward, trending forward, and it's interesting. It's interesting this upcoming season. You have a glimmer of hope. You have a glimmer of light when it comes to the Jets, in my opinion. And then I'm not saying they're going to be world beaters before haters think, oh, you're just a delusional Jet fan. No. The delusional ones are the Cowboy fans, not us. But we know, keep a level head. We know that they're rebuilding, but there's something good. They're rebuilding in a positive trend. I like what they're building, but it all depends on Wilson. Hopefully, this offseason, and it looks like it. It looks like the kid wants to eat, sleep, and breathe football, which is a good thing. Young man like him, he looks like he's invested. He looks like he loves the game. He looks like he's ready to go. He looks like he's a student of the game. And as long as he eats that playbook, he's just ready to go. I think we'll be in good shape. I can't wait for volunteer or volunteer OTAs to see when he comes in, see how he looks. Year 2, he's gonna look now. Now, the game is gonna be a little slower. It's not all that's quick, blitzing and all this high speed. It's gonna slow down. And once it slows down to the level that he controls the narrative, he's going to be a good quarterback. He's going to be a really good quarterback, but only time will give us the reason, tell us if we went the right way with Zach Wilson. I think so, because as you can see, Sam Darnold has not panned out in Carolina. Of course, the first 3 games he had us Jet fans, oh my God, he's playing good. But all in all, he did not have a good season. Where the fact with Carolina now is looking to acquire Deshaun Watson. Now Deshaun Watson is a name that a lot of teams are interested. He's been cleared of all his criminal charges. And now he's available to play. And you see a lot of teams. New Orleans is interested in him. You also have Carolina is very much interested in him, as well as now the Cleveland Browns are another team that threw their name in the hat. Boy, if you're the Cleveland Browns, that's a real tough sell here. If you don't acquire, that's a dangerous game they play there. Trying to inquire and meeting with Deshaun Watson. I don't think he'll sign in Cleveland. I don't think he want to go there. Just think of what's that repercussion or that relationship now you have with your quarterback now. Oof. Baker Mayfield. That's not pretty nice. Boy, that draft class with Darnold and Mayfield and company. Just Josh Allen looks like the only one true quarterback that really came out of that first round pick, because Rosen is not even in the league anymore. And wow, that's a tough one. And of course, you got Lamar Jackson. I think he's the best of all of them. Although Josh Josh is saying, "Hold my beer. I'll be right. I'm on my way there." But in Buffalo, but man, it's tough times there. If Baker Mayfield, but he'll find another team. I'm not saying he'll be out of the league either. If Cleveland decides to move on from him, and they do get Watson, it'll be interesting. A lot of the carousel, the quarterback carousel begins. Also, Atlanta. I forgot to mention Atlanta now threw their name in the hat, inquired about Deshaun Watson. If you're the Texans, you want to send them to the NFC away from your conference. I know the Colts asked and they were denied. Of course, why? Of course, that'd be crazy if they let him go there. A division rival, you're going to see him twice a year for the next 8 years. That's a crazy notion. But remember, he has his roots in Carolina, Atlanta, the Georgia, Carolina area. It'd be interesting to see if he goes back to where his collegiate, when he has collegiate glories. But we'll see. That's a big creed. We just saw a big name quarterback just move from the Seahawks, Russell Wilson, Denver Broncos. Now he's a Bronco. They made that blockbuster move. They moved him there. And there was actually talks for the Jets for DK Metcalf, for the Jets to call and inquire. Personally, I would not for a first round pick, maybe the 38th pick of the draft that we have this year, because this draft has good wide receivers. I mean, I understand DK Metcalf is a lightning rod, but he's fast. We know that he's a gamer, but a little bit of injuries last season. But but does he move the needle? I don't know if he moves the needle for the Jets. I don't know. That's an interesting one. Personally, I'm 45% no, and 55%. Actually, the opposite. 45% yes, and 55% no. I meant to say the opposite. I wouldn't want to give anything better than a 38th pick. I think that's my best offer, and maybe add a fifth round. But other than that, I will not go for anything. None of my top first round picks, because you got some guys that could play some defense. You want to bring some defensive guys and go on with Salah's defensive scheme, and you got some wide receivers as well. You want the number 10 that you don't have to pay them. I know they're not DK Metcalf speed, and he's already seasoned, but is he on the decline or is he on the rise? That's what you have to ask yourself if you're going to bring DK Metcalf. What does he have? That's another concern. Is he, especially remember we played in MetLife Stadium. That artificial surface, that field, has caused a lot of injuries. And a guy who has some injuries or leg injuries, you gotta worry just a little bit. If you're gonna bring someone who has issues playing on that kind of field, on that surface. I know I could say that. What about any of these rookies coming in? Yeah, you're right. But remember, they're younger, recruit time, and etc. So anyone could get injured on that field. But when you bring a guy who has a track record of it, you got to be careful. You just got to be careful, especially if they were asking for such a high ransom for him, you might be too rich for the Jets. We might be too rich for the Jets on that. On that note, I see any other news and notes with the Jets. We'll be back on the air. We'll probably break down rounds, the draft special, who the Jets are looking toward to. Remember the free agency period, the tampering has started. A lot of movement around the league. With the Jets have done a phenomenal job here. If I was to say, if there was a grade, you graded like around a B plus. You don't give an A because you don't know what 100% what they pan out. You don't know. You never know. But all in all, on paper, it looks like we have a competitive team. We got some competitive players in key spots, and we'll see what they go from here. Remember, there's still going to be a lot of time, guys. When guys might get cut, released, so forth. This roster is going to be changed a lot. Other teams around the league as well. Surprise cuts. We'll see. We'll see there. We will see the movement. We'll keep an eye on that. The Jets will keep an eye on the movements, and anyone that comes free from other organizations or other teams or the Jets as well. Or we'll make a video and we'll let you know what's going on with the New York Jets. But all in all, this was the introduction video for the JETS-ALORIAN podcast. I just wanted to make a short video here. We'll get better. Don't worry. We're just the first one. A little nervous, but it was fun talking with you guys. This was recorded earlier. So just those that are going to watch us on the YouTube channel, and on Twitch, we thank you guys for listening, for watching along with us. Remember, hit that like, hit that share. The Giants video will be coming shortly with Chef Dan on the show. Chef Dan is the main man on the Giants report. We're both Giant fans. I'm a Jet fan as well, but Chef Dan is the more Giant fan, so that's his baby. So he'll break down all the Giants ins and outs and news and notes, the Chef special, and I will be there, either behind the scenes or joining him. But well, don't worry, Giants fans. We did not forget you. We still have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about around the league as well. A lot of action going on. Greg, we got Randy Gregory going back to the Dallas Cowboys. Where would Tyrann Mathieu go? Von Miller now. Dallas is becoming interested in bringing a Von Miller in there. Chandler Jones, a great pass rusher. Will he go back to Arizona? Or will you just say, you know what, I see the handwriting on the wall. There's a lot of discord between, Montgomery and front office. Does it look like, or, what does he see? Does he want to bolt out of there? There's a lot of things. Teron Armstead, is a lot of movements to be talked about. Trades, if it happens, to move up and down in draft positioning. So much to break down. But I just wanted to make the quick video just to talked about what's going on recently with the Jets. Well, like I said, we'll continue. Once we have more news, we'll bring it up to speed and notes. So, guys, I want to thank everyone listening to the video. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you guys. I ask you guys to hit that like, subscribe, share to the channel, the BX Sports Jedi Network. And we have all other different programs. We have baseball coming up with the Yankees. We also have now the Knicks season. The NBA season is winding down, but we have a few 12 games left of the New York season. We do watch-alongs and play-by-play of the New York Knicks and the New York Knicks podcast. Also, check us out anywhere you have your audio platform, anywhere you get your audio podcast, either Spreaker, Google, Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple, anywhere that you get your podcast. Just put BX Sports Jedi Network, and all the different programs by their titles will be there. We break down, one of our bread and butter of this channel is MMA Weekly with Austin and Chef Dan. They are a weekly program of the world of combat sports, UFC, Bellator, Eagle FC, Invicta FC. We have, PFL, anything that has to do with violence, combat sport. Austin and Chef Dan breaks it down. They preview it, they review it, and they give their takes, their notes, their rankings, what fight should be next on line for a fighter. They tell you even where they fight from, what gym they train from, and what kind of a style fighter they are. If they're a grappler, if they're a striker, jiu-jitsu, a wrestler, they know the nuts and bolts of the MMA fight game. So I will ask you guys to keep coming, join them. If you're a novice to the MMA world, I will tell you, come and just give them one show. They break everything down for the novice who don't watch MMA. They tell you what to look for. They tell you to go look at the prelims where you're going to see action and what to expect. And if you ever needed to do a watch along with any of them, their information is there. You just reach out to them on Twitter. You follow us on LinkedIn on the description of the video, and you find Chef Dan's Twitter handle there, or BX Sports Jedi, and say, hey, I would like you to watch along with these fights with me. I want you to show me what this fight is about, and what am I looking for? I want to get into MMA. I'm not used to it. Help me, and myself, Chef Dan, or if Austin's not at work, when the fights are on. We'll definitely help you get into the MMA world, because it's combat sports, MMA. If it's Bellator, UFC, Eagle FC, you name it, it's fun. It's good. It's exciting. It captivates, and there's always a lot of action. So I just wanted to tell you about that program. Also wanted to let you know about, if you're a wrestling fan, if you're a WWE, professional wrestling, AEW, We have another program on our network called the Heel of the Ring podcast with Heel and company. They're gonna have breaking down the WWE wrestling, anything in the world of wrestling coming soon. Their debut program will be shortly in about a week. They're ready to go. They just getting all the details, getting some content, especially now before WrestleMania comes up. So I know they're going to want to break down the WrestleMania card, the rumors, notes, and so forth. They'll definitely have a good show for you guys on the Sports Jedi Network, the BX Sports Jedi Network. That's why we are a network of sports. Anything that has to do with sports, we have it. We cover it. We eventually will branch out to so many other different sports, but we go covering the major sports group in wrestling and combat sports. We also have the Ranger Town Republic. That's on podcast only on the audio platform. It's not on video. We do Rangers. We talk about Rangers upcoming and NHL trade deadline is here. Will the Rangers increase adding because they have a good team? They're not quite there, Stanley Cup ready. Will they try to go for it? Will they not? Stay tuned. Join us on Spreaker FM. Join us anywhere you get your platform. Encourage us. We ask you to support us just by giving us a like, a thumbs up, a positive reinforcement. Let us know you're listening, subscribe, or anything we could do to help make the channel, the program, anything better. We're all here for constructive criticism. We take it. Let us know what can we do to make the experience more liking, because we appreciate your time. Your time to us is very valuable, and we appreciate you giving us your time to listen to us, to take a time and listen and participate. We usually do a lot of live streaming. Most of the channels is rare when we do videos. We do a lot of live streaming, and we are the world's most famous chat. The chat is very, very interactive around the world. We interact with everyone from all over, from Philippines to Central South America to Australia to United Kingdom to United States, anywhere in the 50 states, Puerto Rico. We are very interactive chat. Bahamas, Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaica. They all here. They all give their attendance. I'm from here. I'm from there. Salute. And we advise you to come join us to a live program, and just be part of the Jedi Sports family chat. We appreciate, and we would like to see you. We'd like to say hello, and we always have memory recollection of all our chat members, where you're from, and you're like you end up becoming a family. So we appreciate. We would like you to join us. We would like you to participate with us. That's all we ask. We're not a program. Although we if you guys feel it that you want to give us the super chats and bless us financially, we're not going to say no to it, but we're not one that asking for it or honking it, or we will not read your comments unless you super chat us. We're not like other programs. If you write a chat, if you spend, like I said, your time is valuable. If you write a comment, we will write it, highlight it. We'll read it on the air. Not like other programs, and it. If you don't give this, they're not going to read it. So, guys, we're here because we're from a fan to the fans. We are from the people to the people, and we thank you again. For me, I am BX Sports Jedi Kev, saying have a good evening. May the Jets be with you, Gang Green, and may the sports be with you. We'll see you next time.